My name is Barry Allen. And I am the fastest man alive.
Listen to me. There's a war coming. A terrible war.
You have failed this city.
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 6 of the Fandom Zone. I am Karen, and I am accompanied by Charles, and also Chuck the Wonder Kitty, who accompanied us on our intro.
So shouldn't it be, you have failed this kitty?
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Lori and I have done that with our cat.
You have failed this kitty.
Failed this kitty. Yep.
Yes. He appreciated that, by the way. He was
and
not happy.
Kitty, of course, being spelled Kitteh.
Yes, definitely.
Kitteh. Yeah.
Yes. He's still there, though, isn't he?
He's going to ambush you.
Yes, he is.
He's going to go all Daredevil on you.
Just as an explanation, he is sitting right behind me, ready to jump on my shoulder to get up on the desk. So I picked him up and I held him in front of the microphone while we were doing the opening. So we're going to talk about the shows of the week, the comic book shows of the week today. And then we will have a 6.5 episode where we talk about spoilers and news. And this will be exciting again.
As always.
I love doing this.
I love doing this with you.
Yes, and we might have some interesting things this week, yes?
Possibly. Especially when we get to iZombie.
iZombie, yes, and also Arrow.
Yes.
Flipping it around on Arrow.
Yep.
Okay.
Because, Karen has some thoughts about iZombie. She's been dying to share.
I am so in the minority on that, too. So,
and I have some thoughts on Arrow that...
you're kind of in the minority on that.
I don't think I'm as severe as you.
No, you're not at all.
But I've got a few problems.
Yes, you do. But,
worst.
I think we'll balance out your problems with my sound clip.
Oh, that's true.
So
that'll keep you hooked. That's a good hook right there.
That's right.
All right.
So shall we start with Monday night?
Yes.
Which is Gotham on Fox.
Gotham Undercover.
That would be the 20th episode of Season 1, entitled Under the Knife. And it was written by?
John Stevens and directed by T.J. Scott.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What was your rating?
Oh, we're going to rate it off the bat? Okay.
Yes, let's do.
All right. I give this episode 8 out of 10 stabbed watermelons.
Very nice.
For reasons we will discuss.
Yep. And I give it 8 out of 10 little sugar daddies. For reasons we shall also discuss.
Right. Exactly.
So, well, let me discuss mine first real quick, because it's a very minor storyline as far as I'm concerned, even though it kind of sets up something for next week. This was Bruce deciding to be all alpha male. Asking out Selena to the dance. And also, hey, since I'm asking you out, this is like a huge thing in romance novels for billionaires. If it says billionaire in the title, he's going to send her a dress. That's the thing. I'll send you a whole new wardrobe so that you can go out with me.
Now, did he send her the dress or did Alfred send her the dress?
Well, it doesn't matter. He paid for it.
Right. He's the money.
Right. So he's the sugar daddy.
Well, they've killed somebody together. So, now let's go out on the town and celebrate.
That's also pretty common in romance novels, too.
Especially before high school.
Right. That you kill somebody together and then you pay for some clothes. So,
The couple that slays together stays together.
That's right. Nice. I like that.
Thank you.
So, and she dresses up real nice.
Yeah, she wasn't wild about. Yeah, Selena wasn't wild about cleaning herself up, and she's not into the whole high society thing.
No.
But I think the point of this episode was to give her that little taste that she will use later on as Catwoman.
Correct. To kind of sex herself up a little bit.
And realize that she can move through those high society circles and get those big scores.
Right, exactly right. And she can fit in to that environment. She can look nice enough to fit in, even if she doesn't feel like that on the inside. And I think that's part of her persona later on, is that she still feels like that little thief inside, but she can look sexy and alluring and high society. And I think that was part of the deal. And, she stole the key, and she did it so well, too. I mean, she stole the key, she took the impression, and she put it back on the dude, all in one little move. I mean, it was great. Well, Bruce was the accomplice, talking to him and knowing what was going on the whole time. I can't remember the dude's name. Bradenslaw or something Slaw.
Oh, hold on, I got it right here. I thought I did. I guess I don't.
It's something Slaw.
Bunderslaw.
Bunderslaw, yes. That's
there it is. Bunderslaw. I got it. But she's this very fluid, slips into his pocket, makes the mold, and like you said, Bruce is the distraction.
Yeah, it was so
that
cute.
She can pull it off. And he actually, he knew that she needed help, so he deliberately stepped in.
Mm-hmm. Which is probably not going to happen very much when they get older.
No. And become opposite sides of the law.
Most of the time.
As long as they can stop killing people together.
They're not on opposite sides all the time.
No.
But most of the time.
Right.
So that part was cute, but it's also going to set up next week. Where, he's got the key now, and he's going to go into Sid's office next week and try and dig up stuff. Now, I don't know if she's going to go with him or not, but we'll find out that. So
I would think if you're going to steal some documents,
you would take the
thief.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? So I'm just saying they haven't said whether she's going or not. I don't think they did they?
No, I don't think they've gotten that far.
They didn't explicitly say. Yeah. Okay. So that's where I got my little sugar daddy from. So
okay.
He's just so cute. I'll send you some clothes. It was so cute. So your stabbed watermelons. Let's talk about that storyline.
Yeah. Well, the first thing is that we got to see Edward, and the title of the episode being Under the Knife. There are knives. Like the knife metaphor is throughout this entire episode.
Yep.
We've got when Bruce and Selena were dumping their body underneath a bridge. This man comes up and accosts them, and Selena threatens him with a little switchblade knife.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Edward, everyone's favorite, Edward Nygma.
Yeah.
The Riddler.
Well, he's not the Riddler yet, but wow.
He's getting there. He's on the road now.
He jumped across that river.
Yeah, he was, he's testing out some stabbing techniques
you think?
In his, and I guess he's getting his technique down on watermelons until he later on in the episode he notices that his little crush Kristen Kringle has bruises on her arms,
mm-hmm.
and that doesn't set too well with him because Kringle's all hooked up with this cop named what is his name? I'm trying to remember his name. Oh well, can't remember his name.
Doherty?
Doherty, yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
He's Ed doesn't because he's all crushing on Kringle, he's jealous of Doherty being involved with her, and he suspects that especially after seeing these bruises that he's up to no good. So later on, Ed confronts Doherty, and he's basically giving his version of the "don't you mess with my woman" speech.
Yep.
And Doherty's just laughing at him.
He taunts him. He says, "Have you ever been with a woman?" I mean, wow, he really
just calls him out.
He really pushes Ed over the edge.
Yeah. So, later on in the big scene at the end, Edward confronts Doherty outside his house, and they have a little talk, and it doesn't go too well because what happens is
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah, Edward kind of goes rapid fire, stabbing
Yeah.
Doherty. First he does the one thrust, the initial thrust, and then he's kind of like, "Oh, I'm stabbing you now. Okay, let me get really into it," and just start stabbing repeatedly. Like all that frustration that he's been feeling is coming out.
I almost felt like he had to do it that way because he had to make sure that the guy was going to be dead.
Right.
And he also had to make it look like it wasn't a meek person killing him so
Right.
that no
Now-
one would suspect him.
Now, because Edward is the CSI of the office, the forensics guy, he should be able to cover up the crime pretty well.
Yes, I would assume
One would
so.
think. And he is intelligent,
Yeah.
so he should cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
Until
And
at
I
some
love-
point, Gordon has to figure it out that he's killing
Sure.
people. Because now he's got a taste for it.
I would love, I mean, I'd love to see him kind of stumbling away, and he kept like twisting like a leaf in the wind as he walked
Yep.
away, going, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear." It was really quite humorous, but also kind of maniacal,
Right.
you know. And he was almost giggling,
Yeah, well, it's that kind of,
Riddler
nervous
thing.
anxiety. Yeah.
Right.
It's that because obviously Edward is disturbed, so we're finally getting that part of his persona is coming out,
Right.
and it's overtaking this, standoffish, nerdy guy that everybody beats up on, verbally and makes fun of and laughs at. So now he's going to get his payback.
Right.
So
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see that starting to happen.
now what's going to happen if it gets really awkward when Kringle says something like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Doherty was just catching me as my heel caught on the stairs and I tripped and fell, and so he grabbed me by the arm and that's what caused the bruise."
Yeah,
So
that's so not going to happen.
well, and then Edward's going to be like, "I killed this guy over nothing."
But she already implied that he was
Yeah, I know.
hurting
But-
her. So yeah. But still, that would have been funny, right? Wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, that
Yep.
was loud.
That was a big Price is Right fail.
That's right.
So then we had Gordon trying to warn Leslie, his girl pal, his squeeze Leslie, to get out of town before the ogre gets her.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay.
And
'Cause-
she has some fortitude.
yeah, she's not good. She's not like Barbara, where Barbara just curls up in a bottle.
Until this episode, which we will come back to.
Right, because Barbara finally makes her return in this episode.
That's right, with the vengeance, as it were.
Yeah, yep. But Gordon wants Leslie to leave town because the ogre, anybody associated with the ogre case, the ogre ends up, killing their loved ones, which is not good. So he tries to tell her to leave. She's like, no, I'm not leaving. You need me.
Mm-hmm. So I'm
And then-
staying.
Right. And then what does he do finally? He admits that he loves her.
Oh, that's right. And she says, well, that's interesting that it took a serial killer for you to say the words. And she's
Well-
all like cranky about it, but it's funny.
I think she's teasing him. I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
she's-
I know she is. It was
Yeah.
just, kind of sarcastic how she said it. It was very funny. Yeah. By the way, I have some names here. We've already
Okay.
mentioned these people. Michael Potts played Sid Bunderslaw, and he
Okay.
was on True Detective
Oh,
as
I did not know.
he was one of the two detectives who were questioning the two guys in the
Matthew
present
McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
in the present day. Yes,
Okay, I didn't make that connection.
he was
That's
also in The Wire. And let's see,
I did not know that.
Tom Doherty was played by Zachary Spicer, who I couldn't find anywhere, and I wrote second and last appearance in here. And when we didn't say this yet, but they Gordon and Bullock meet with a detective, Ben Mueller, and they trace the ogre investigation back to the first detective, and in order to find out, where the whole thing started, to see if they can get clues from the first case. And they talked to him, and his wife had been killed, and he's worried about his daughter, and that's why it got dropped.
Right.
And that's where the whole thing started, where police were afraid to pick up the case and all this sort of thing. And they say, well, we'll protect your daughter and, all this stuff. His name is Lawrence Mason, and he was a regular on Prison Break.
Easy for you to say.
Exactly. And the S.H.I.E.L.D. So
he was tight with Captain Cold and Heatwave.
That's right. He sure was. On Prison Break. And so, I mean, even just with those two, the Michael Potts and Lawrence Mason, I mean, that is quite the pedigree just for this one episode. And then we still have another guest star, which we haven't even got to yet. So we'll talk about those in a minute. Plus, the True Detective thing, that's...
Yeah.
I didn't make that connection until I saw it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, of course, that's him.
That's cool. Yeah, now I kind of picture it in my head. I'm like,
yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah,
that
that's
is
cool.
him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So about Barbara,
Yeah.
We see her meeting the ogre in a bar.
Yeah.
And he's doing the American Psycho type schmoozing big time.
Do you believe in love?
And then Barbara gets really dark with him, talking about if she died, nobody would care.
Wow, right? Where did this come from?
Well, maybe she's been checking all the comments about her on Twitter because
she became interesting overnight.
Everybody hates Barbara.
Yeah. Right?
But yeah.
And then she gets him back to her apartment, and she's just a tease and tells him to show himself out.
Right. So is she just completely self-destructive at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Or is she playing this guy?
Both.
Okay.
I think, well, she doesn't know he's a serial killer, for one thing.
Right.
But she's
even though he takes her back to his little S&M dungeon.
No, hello, 50 Shades. I mean, she's just thinking it's, the guy's into kink.
Yeah.
And she looks intrigued by that, to be honest. She doesn't look horrified by it. She just looks like, oh, well, a new experience for me.
Well, she's probably a sorority girl. She's been around the block.
Sure. Although, you don't have to be a sorority girl to be into that sort of thing, but,
Not that I'm stereotyping all sorority
No,
girls.
no, we get what you mean.
Just most of them.
You're so rude. Well, I wasn't in a... I'm not saying that out loud.
Yeah.
So...
Hey, now.
I just think... that...
Right.
That she just doesn't care what she does anymore. And it's dangerous even if he's not a serial killer. Because she doesn't know this guy from Adam. And... man... it's crazy how self-destructive this is. And then he's a serial killer. He's a serial killer on top of all that. So, she and it's blowing my mind that
the frustrating part for me though is watching those two interact, the ogre and Barbara, and actually rooting for the ogre to kill her.
I know, right?
And I know that's wrong, but
because it's Barbara.
But it's Barbara. I mean, she's been such a horribly written character. And at this point, I don't know how you could salvage the character unless she just completely hits rock bottom, rebuilds herself back up really quickly.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just like, I know, I think Gordon and Leslie have way more chemistry than Gordon and Barbara did.
I know.
So why would you even need to keep Barbara around at this point? I know in the comics, it's like, that Barbara Gordon's mother, Batgirl, Her mother is named Barbara.
Right.
So presumably Barbara is the one that Jim marries.
Right.
And then they have Barbara and then their son James Jr. But maybe in this continuity, Barbara would die.
And they name.
And they named their daughter after Barbara.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
what my thought is. At least I hope that might.
Yeah,
be
yeah,
the
we'll
case.
see. But
But whatever. I don't know.
yeah, I know.
But it's confounding me what's going on with that storyline. But she did become interesting in this last episode.
I will give you that. It is interesting.
Yes, I'd like to see
only,
what happens.
But only in the sense of rooting for her to die.
Only in the sense that I want to know how it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want it to be as gory as possible
Right.
on 8 o'clock on network TV. But
And which it might be.
yeah.
And then a branch of that story is that they're looking for clues. And in investigating Ben Mueller's case, they come across this other part that leads them to Jacob Skolimsky and Mrs. Vandergroot. Was that her name?
Yeah, yeah. I kind of tuned out a little.
She is inconsequential. She's dead.
Right.
But Jacob Skolimsky is the one that they're concerned with, and he's, whatever. He's instrumental in the death of Miss Vandergroot, and I don't even care how that happens. It doesn't matter. They go and talk to him. Now, here's the other pedigreed actor, Daniel Davis, who plays Jacob Skolimsky. Now, you know who he is, right?
The name sounds familiar, but I don't know who he is offhand.
I knew who he was the minute I saw him.
Okay, go ahead and press me.
Okay, first of all, he was on The Nanny.
Didn't watch The Nanny.
Okay. That's not where you'd know him from anyway.
Okay.
And he played Moriarty on Star Trek The Next
That's
Generation.
Right. Yes. Now I remember. Yes.
So.
Next Generation. Yeah, he was Moriarty.
Yeah.
Right.
So, those are three actors with huge pedigrees. And he had a recurring role on Star Trek The Next Generation. 4 or 5 episodes, something like that. And
2.
No, more than that.
There was only 2 episodes with him as Moriarty.
Are you sure?
I am totally sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
it seemed like more because that one...
There was Elementary Dear Data and Ship in a Bottle.
Okay. And Ship in the Bottle is where he leaves the holodeck.
And kind of becomes his own entity.
Right. And they end up putting him...
they put him in this like the little portable holographic world.
Right. Where he thinks he's living his own life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I felt really bad for him in that episode, but then also kind of, well, at least he gets to...
They could have just gone, deleted.
Yeah, I know. It would have been bad. But they did give him his own life anyway. But
Exactly.
Anyway, I watched The Nanny. I love the show The Nanny, which I know you guys are going to make fun of me, but I do. I loved it.
Pretty much, yes.
Still. Mr. Sheffield. I loved it, and he played their man about town sort of butlery guy.
Got it. He's the Alfred.
Yes, he was their Alfred.
Okay.
And it was cool to see him on the show. So anyway, he ends up being the ogre's father.
Okay. Yep. Say thanks, Dad. Thanks for creating a serial killer. Well done.
Right. And then there's a part where they find out that his face was all screwed up, and he ended up getting plastic surgery, and that's how they find out what he looks like.
Right.
Done.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Moving on.
I tried to condense it. I wanted to talk about Daniel Davis, though. So.
No, that's cool. I'm glad you did.
I got excited.
Because then I could throw up my sad, pathetic Star Trek
STTNG.
Geek knowledge.
Okay. It just seemed like he was in more, I guess, because I loved that storyline where he was.
He should have been in more.
He should have been. He was great.
Yeah. Great character.
Yeah, very much so.
All right. Moving on.
And there was a little penguin thing in there.
Yeah, that's what
with the
you're
mother
right.
and
Well, it's just basically Boss Maroney was laying it out, so telling Penguin's mom, Gertrude, that, played by Carol Kane, who's always fun to watch, that, oh, by the way, your son's a criminal and he's killed people and he's not the sweet little boy that you know.
Right.
And we
And
even
then she
see
breaks
example
down
of
and-
that later. And yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
no, I can't be.
Right.
He's my pingy.
Right. Here's a thing. Just before we finish talking about this,
Yeah.
I thought that he was buying Large Marge's bar so that he could kill Maroni. You're laughing.
Yeah, just the Large Marge references always brings a smile to my face.
Well, I want to differentiate that from his bar that he already owns.
Yeah.
That he was buying her bar so that he could kill Maroni himself.
Well, he's got a nightclub, so we can call it the bar in the nightclub.
Okay, but still,
There you
it's Large Marge.
Okay.
So that he could kill Maroni himself. Because I thought that would be his vendetta.
Yeah.
But why is he going to this Connor person?
I don't know. Maybe, well, he doesn't want to get his hands directly tied to the murder.
See, but I thought for sure he'd want to do it himself.
Well, he may end up doing it himself, but I think he wants to keep his hands clean
Okay.
and still kill him.
I just thought he'd want the satisfaction of doing it himself.
He might.
Because the way he was saying it,
Yeah.
it
Well, he may
really
have,
seemed like
well, especially now that Maroney was, going to his mom.
taunted him.
Taunted him, yeah. And just totally just laid it, exposed all his little dirty little secrets right there.
Yeah.
So
it was just a thing. I was like, why is he talking to this second? And he kind of set up the Connor guy. He's like, well, do you really want to be the number 2 guy?
right.
If you do this, you might be the number 1 guy.
But see, I don't think that I don't think that plan to kill Maroney is going to go as well as Oswald would like to think it will.
Oswald never.
For one thing, Maroney's the one who throws acid into Harvey Dent's face and turns him into Two-Face.
Right.
At least in the comics.
Right. So something's going to happen where it doesn't go down.
Yeah, well, maybe he'll get arrested. He'll be put on trial. Harvey Dent will, go through that. And but it's a little early though for that because we're so far back in the timeline.
Yeah, but Maroney could get put in jail, right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe he gets out or later on and then gets tried again.
Sure.
But he doesn't die.
Right.
I don't think he'll die.
No. Okay. So,
All right.
Moving on, let's go to The Flash.
Yay!
The 19th episode of the first season. What are you wearing? Star
My
Labs?
Star Labs.
Nice.
Star Labs t-shirt.
The 19th episode of the first season. Who is Harrison Wells? And we know who Harrison Wells is.
Yes. And now you will too.
That's right. And now, actually, it's...
And now everybody pretty much seems to know who Harrison Wells is.
Right. Except Iris.
Except Iris.
Iris is the only one who doesn't know anything.
Right.
Right? Isn't that the only...
Yeah, the reporter is the only one left in the dark.
Right. Duh. She's a dummy.
Yeah, I know.
You'd think that she'd know how to find
No.
information.
She's not a dummy. She's written poorly. There's a distinction.
That's true.
Because Iris is a great character in the comics.
Yeah.
Not so great on television.
Yeah, no, not so great.
Gotta step up your game, writers.
Caitlin is the one who finds out in this episode.
Yeah, Caitlin has a hard time coming to grips with it initially. She's like, he's my mentor, he's been so good, and I can't see him being the Reverse Flash. He's in his wheelchair, how could that be?
Right. The one thing that bothers me about her in this episode is when she says, if he is the Reverse Flash, it will ruin my life.
Right.
Well, okay, but if he is the Reverse Flash, then you have to expose it.
Right. Do you want to just leave him be?
Right. Then you have to let it happen. You can't just let it go.
I think it's the denial.
Right.
I think she's totally in denial phase. She doesn't it can't be true. But eventually, now that they've go through this whole episode, and it's like, oh, by the way, we've got a dead body now of the real Harrison Wells.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now she's got to okay, I'm on board, I guess. Not happy about it, but I'm on board.
Yeah, well, I think it's incontrovertible proof now that they found the suit and all that. She doesn't really. Yeah. She can't really complain anymore. They found the crisis headline and all that stuff.
No, I think she's rapidly hitting the acceptance phase.
Right. And now they've realized why he saved their life, I think.
Yeah.
Because they need to keep him alive until 2024 or
Four.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, in order to keep the timeline pristine. So, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the whole Eddie thing.
Right. Yeah. Eddie eventually gets framed because there's a new super criminal in town. Every man.
Touchy-feely, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Because Hannibal Bates, who, yes, he was named after Hannibal Lecter and Norman Bates in the comics. This is, straight from the comics. The character was created for this series called 52, and he's the shape-changing guy who can, at least on the TV show, he touches people and can absorb their DNA and take on their appearance.
Yep.
But not their powers, thankfully.
Thank goodness.
Because we don't need another super speedster in town
Right.
at the moment.
And he takes on the appearance, including their clothes, which I find interesting.
Right. Yeah. It's maybe there's like a maybe he creates the clothes out of his own skin.
Maybe.
Like maybe they're fused to his skin because they're part of him. I don't know.
Yeah, because he puts on the Flash's outfit.
Costume. Yeah.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
does he know who is under that costume?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think he just absorbed the DNA the Flash was there. Thankfully for once, Barry has his mask on and left it on.
Right.
So when every man touched him, that he was wearing his mask. So
Right.
what he should have done was like, okay, hold on a minute, let me go to a mirror. Oh, you're Barry Allen.
Right.
I absorbed you earlier.
He should have, yeah. Yeah, because he does become Barry Allen earlier in the episode.
Yeah. And in a very funny scene, as Barry Allen, every man kisses Caitlin.
And she's just like,
First she's shocked.
what?
But then she's really into it and kisses him back.
Yeah. For a second. Not for very long.
So all those Snowberry shippers are like, yes, sort of, yay.
Snowberry.
So, but this maybe will be like having with Ronnie Raymond off doing firestormy things somewhere else.
Are you a Snowberry shipper?
I am not a Snowberry shipper, but I'm okay with it if it happens.
Ugh. I think it's gross.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What is it? Why is it gross?
I don't know. She just seems too young for him.
It's Grant Gustin. He's young for everybody.
I don't know. She's so innocent and
But see, they're both scientists.
they're so wrong for each other.
And
They just
really?
are, yes.
Well, she's going to become a supervillain, so
Well, there's that.
yeah, but that's later on. Spoilers.
I'm not a big fan of Iris either. So it's not that I'm shipping the right couple. It's that
So who should Barry be with? Should he go back with?
I liked Felicity.
Yeah,
but
but she's all Oliver.
I know.
So,
I don't
which
know.
we'll get into later. But
I liked
should he get back with Linda Park?
Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah, she was okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had nothing against Linda Park.
Maybe he hasn't.
Even though she needs to be with Wally West, but hey.
Yeah, I know. Maybe he hasn't met her yet. I don't know.
Yep, it's still out there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I just keep hoping. I want Iris redeemed as a character.
Maybe they need to visit an alternate universe through the Speed Force, and there's a better Iris in that alternate universe.
Maybe.
How's that?
The frustrating thing is with Flash and Arrow, you've got several female writers on this show, but the women are written so poorly. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Felicity's not written poorly all the time. I like her.
This season, she's been written very poorly.
Not all the time. I have liked her in parts of this season.
Okay.
Parts of it. And I like
little hesitation there.
What's his name's wife? She's cool. Diggle's wife.
Oh, yeah.
She's cool. Lila.
Yeah. Lila, yeah. Harbinger.
I like her, yeah.
Yeah, yep.
I've never liked Nyssa.
I've liked Nyssa, but I'm into the bad girls.
I've never really liked Laurel.
I've not liked Laurel.
No. And I have hated Thea, so...
Yeah.
I'm rich. That's my impression of Thea.
She was better this season, though.
Okay, better. until
But not-
until Daddy. I hate my daddy.
So again, the question is posed: why are the women written so poorly on these
Yeah.
shows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I don't-
Caitlin's good. I mean, I like Caitlin.
Yeah, I think Caitlin's written one of the better ones
Yeah.
written.
No, that
She's
doesn't mean I want her to
she's funny.
sleep with.
She's funny. She goes out and does like she's great at karaoke when she gets drunk.
Okay.
She's
Does that make
hilarious.
her written well? No.
Well,
Okay.
No,
This
but
is a debate for another
yeah,
time.
I
But to me, that doesn't make her right for Barry. Just something doesn't sit right with me for them.
well, because Barry's supposed to be with Iris West.
But see, that's not even. Okay.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
know.
even it for me.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. They just don't seem right for each other. Okay, so anyway, yeah, okay, so the guy touches them and becomes them, and so he uses that in order to steal things.
Right. Yeah.
In
that's
this
it. That's
case, jewelry.
right.
And he tries
Yeah.
to pawn them,
Yeah.
and the guy
And-
calls the police.
Yeah. Well, and Eddie, like, is following the guy,
Hmm.
but
And the guy makes him.
yeah, and then takes on his identity later.
Well, they fight,
They fight,
which
yes,
means that they touch each other,
right, in oh so sensual ways.
except not. Which means that the guy can turn into Eddie now.
It was a very sensual fight.
Yeah.
How's that?
There you go.
But yeah, he can turn into Eddie, and as Eddie, he shoots a couple cops. Pew pew.
Yep. And
And,
this is what
Guess
you
what?
said last week.
and Eddie ends up in the slammers.
Yeah. And you said you saw the little preview of Eddie shooting cops
Right.
weeks ago. And this is
Yep.
apparently
I
where.
was right.
Yep.
That was
So,
right. Called it. Called
Good
it.
on you.
Thank you.
Hmm.
And but Barry's reaction to the whole thing was interesting because he's got the whole issue of wrongful imprisonment. It obviously because of his father, it really sticks in his
It
craw.
is a hot button. for
So
him.
when Eddie is imprisoned falsely because every man took his identity, he's like, "I'm gonna find a way to get you free," and even though I haven't really succeeded with my father just yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's his thing.
It's yeah,
Justice.
Justice. Hey, that's a good verb or a good word.
That's right.
Let's see, justice. You know, if
If
only
I
there
were to
was a
get
bunch
some
of guys like
people
that
together
in some form
and
of
make a
of a
society
league,
or
a league.
yeah, a league. or,
that just
and what country are we in? Maybe we can help fight for America.
Yeah, or even internationally,
Maybe.
or
Could we?
yeah, could be, yeah,
Does he help
Sorry.
found that? Yes,
yes, he does.
I know he does.
And we
Well,
actually got a tease of that.
Do you not remember that someone told
We-
me he'd marry me if I named all the founding members?
No,
I didn't tell you that story.
you did not tell me that story.
Oh
You
my
have to
God.
tell me another time.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
now
'cause we got
people
lots of-
people are
we got
gonna
lots of-
ask.
All right. Quick
I'll tell you
version.
quick. A guy
version.
in a comic book shop. This was before I dated my husband. He said, "I will date the first woman. I will marry the first woman who can tell me the 7 founding members of the JLA." And so I rattled them off, and I said, "No, thank you," and I walked away.
Drop the mic.
That's right.
Boom.
That's right. Because he didn't think
Nice.
that they would know, John Johns
Right.
and
Because
all that stuff.
you're a girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Grow up, children.
that's right.
Yeah.
Aquaman, Wonder
well played.
Woman. Yep.
Well played.
Exactly.
So, Joe and Cisco, they take a little road trip, don't they?
They do.
Going out to Starling City.
Yep.
That happening town.
Yep.
Starling City.
And Cisco finds out something.
Yeah, he does.
I love his
well,
comment.
a couple of somethings because, yeah, they meet with Quentin
Mm-hmm.
because special guest star Paul Blackthorne as Quentin Lance,
Right. And
who is
special
much,
guest star.
who is much less of a dick here than he is on Arrow.
So much less.
Yeah. And to the point where Joe is like, "Hey, you might want to stop being
A dick.
Yeah. which I liked. But yeah, Cisco and Joe meet with Quentin's because they want to go check out the car crash site,
Although he's still a dick.
but not as dicky.
No, not as dicky.
The level of dickitude has not reached those high proportions. It's much lower on the dickitude scale. You like that?
I do. My quiet laughter was bubbling. Yes, his dictiness.
Yeah. And yeah, Rob, if you edit that out, I'm going to be so upset. Because that's just gold right there. Yeah, he meets with them, and by the way, well, he was there, or Joe and Cisco are there. Laurel kind of grabs Cisco aside and is like, "Hey, why don't you speak with me in private?"
Mm-hmm.
And Cisco's like, "Really? All right, you're kind of hot. I'll go for it." Yeah. So she takes one into the interrogation rooms. I don't know, or something. I don't know where. But then she lays it on him. And is like, "Oh, by the way, I know who the Flash is. I know who Arrow is, because
I'm the Black Canary."
she's the Black Canary.
Right. It's so funny because he's like, "No way."
I totally have masturbated to you.
Yeah, that's what he says.
On the computer.
Essentially, right?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Might as well have said that.
Yes.
Because yeah, Laurel.
I'm in your beach towel club.
Oh, nice. Laurel is she really wants help.
Distracted yourself.
I did. That imagery just popped in my head there for a
I
second.
don't want an imagery.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Laurel wants some upgraded tech. She's got her sonic device that Sarah used, and she wants the Cisco Ramon upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, "Dude, can you help me out?"
And he does.
But for a price.
Yes.
What's the price?
I'm trying to think. What was the price?
It's a picture of him with the Black Canary.
Oh, yeah.
And where he's probably like all he needed to do was just do the finger going,
Yeah.
and the face going, "Hey, I'm with Black Canary."
And that's what he uses from now on.
Yep.
With his beach towel.
Yes.
If you were.
Yeah. Okay. Little TMI there.
Come on, you started it. I wasn't even thinking that, and you said it.
I just put those thoughts into your head. I work my way.
I can play my music again if you want.
But, yep.
Okay.
All right. But I was gonna say, yeah, he's got a picture of him with Black Canary. So,
Yeah.
And he ends up later giving her a snazzy new neck choker.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as comic fans know, the Black Canary tends to be prone to wearing.
Yep.
But this one, because Laurel isn't superpowered, at least not yet, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, she has a device now which is called, or Cisco names, the Canary Cry. So
That's right.
Black Canary has her Canary Cry.
Yep.
Now, will it later on be fused to her throat or somehow, incorporated into her physically? I don't know, but at this point in time, she's got a device, so she can essentially be regular Black Canary.
Right. Is she just going to go
Yeah,
swallow it by accident?
Scream. Oh, well, it's not inside her throat.
I know.
So, yeah.
I was just saying.
Now, what if she sneezed with it on? She'd be like, "Achoo!" and take out a city block.
Yeah, exactly. That would be bad.
Sorry, had it switched on. Whoops. My bad.
Yeah. You got to do this, and then you stop your sneeze. You bite right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good for a podcast, by the way, for me to do that.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it's a little visual, but yeah, we'll go with it. And then what else happens? Cisco, meanwhile, after helping Laura out, while they're helping Laura out, I'm not sure when Cisco actually builds this device. He just whips it up really quickly because it's like, oh yeah, nothing.
I'm sure he just uses the lab, right?
Right. Yeah, but okay. He wasn't at his normal lab, so what did he do?
No, but is the lab still there underneath the...
Old Radio Shack, or...
Those
I
are all
don't know.
gone now,
I
aren't
know
they?
yes, they are gone.
Makes
Rest in
me
peace,
sad.
Radio Shack.
That's right. I wish I had
Um,
taps. I'd play it.
yeah. But Cisco uses another one of his devices, this tachyon detector, so that when he and Joe go out to the crash site, he's like waving around and it's going.
Oh my
And
goodness, tachyons.
tachyons. So where's the tachyons? And like, oh yeah, I guess we should dig here because there might be something. So they dig and dig, and oh, guess what? There's a dead body.
Mm-hmm.
So we exhume the dead body, and turns out to be Harrison Wells, who we know from the previous episodes that old Eobard Thawne killed and replaced and took over his body and dumped the real Harrison Wells to the curb.
Yes,
So now they've actually have some evidence
that's
that
right.
Eobard is not the real Harrison Wells.
That's right. That's right. Or at least Harrison
Yep.
Wells isn't the real Harrison Wells.
Yep.
They don't know who he is, though, right?
Well, no, they don't know who he's Eobard Thawne.
Right.
They just know that,
He's not
Yeah.
Harrison Wells.
right, he's
Right.
not Harrison Wells. He's just some guy
Right.
that apparently can create tachyons.
Mm-hmm.
So,
They know, well, most of them know he's the Reverse Flash.
yeah, so as far as they know him is the Reverse Flash. The question that they should be asking is, who is the Reverse Flash?
Right.
Yeah,
Not Harrison Wells.
right.
Because Harrison Wells is dead. They can
Exactly.
eliminate him.
Yeah, Harrison Wells. Oh yeah, he's dead. He's on the table. He's over there.
Right.
Now, who's this other guy?
Right.
Yeah,
Could be
So-
anyone.
could be anyone. And then we get a cool little like bit at the end where Cisco once again whips out the old tachyon detector.
Yeah. That.
My mouth's dry. I can't do whistle properly.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, we're just blowing everybody's eardrums out, probably. Sorry about that, everyone. So he detects some tachyons inside Star Labs, and they're like, "Oh, what's this room here? This secret room?"
It's hollow.
Yeah,
isn't supposed to be here.
They're feeling around, and like, all of a sudden, Barry figures out, walks through it.
Oh my goodness, there's Braille all over the walls.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, was Daredevil here? Is this Daredevil's headquarters?
Why does it look like that on the walls? Why?
It's all future techie Braille stuff. I don't know.
Whatever.
Or he's really maybe it's ergonomic. Like he gets tired, he lays against the wall. It's like, oh, this is so good for my back.
Okay, whatever.
I don't know. But yeah,
It's
they go
Braille. It looks like Braille to me.
It does look like Braille.
Okay.
They go and they find the secret chamber. It's like Eobard Thawne and the Chamber of Secrets.
Okay, Harry Potter.
Exactly. They see the Reverse Flash costume, and they see a newspaper. That newspaper we've been teased several times. The Future Picture News newspaper from 2024, which is all like hologrammy.
Yep. Flash dies in crisis.
Flash disappears during Crisis.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Important distinction.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's
he
true.
vanishes.
He does.
He vanishes.
Into the Speed Force, right?
Eventually.
Yeah.
But he has a little layover with the anti-monitor.
Yeah. Well.
Then he
There's
gets all
that.
crumbly, disappears into Speed Force,
That's right.
and then becomes the Lightning, goes back in time, and creates his own superpowers from himself,
Right.
which I thought was a cool story.
Shh.
Yeah, no
We're
spoilers.
giving away things.
Well, they may not happen.
Okay, that's true.
They may do it differently.
Yeah.
It's not spoiler. It's TV. They do things differently.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. So, what did you give this episode?
I gave it 8 out of 10 daughter issues, and that will become clear later.
Okay.
Well,
gave
this was Laurel
Yeah.
and also Caitlin, because
Okay.
she looks up to Harrison.
Right.
So, daughter issues. Okay,
Good
go
point.
ahead.
Good point. I give it 8.5 out of 10 exhumed corpses.
Gross. And Coast City is briefly seen for the first time in Arrow, the Flash.
So start demanding that Hal Jordan appearance, played by Nathan Fillion, because who would be better?
Yeah, he doesn't look much like
Well, he's older
Green
now.
Arrow. Yeah,
he
it would
looks
have to
more
be a
like
time travel.
he looks more like Alan Scott these
He
days.
does actually.
Now, if you want to do Alan Scott, that would be perfect to get Nathan
Sure.
Fillion.
I'm
But
thinking that they might go with Jon Stewart.
yeah, not the Daily Show host, Jon Stewart.
No.
This is John.
Right. They've cast someone that might fit into that mold for the crossover, and they haven't named what character he's playing.
Right.
And I'm thinking it might be Jon Stewart.
Here's hoping.
Well, it could be also Cyborg or
Right.
a lot of other characters. So
Exactly. Yeah, it could be the Wally West. It could be. I'm thinking it could be Amazing Man.
could be.
Yeah, which is a really
true.
obscure character that you'd look up. But anyway,
Yeah. But I would love it to be Jon Stewart.
yep,
I
it
think
would be
that
cool.
would be cool.
It would be very cool.
And he's from the same era of people as well.
Right.
So
That's true. So
All right.
next we're gonna go into get.
I
Karen all
promise I'm
revved
not
up.
gonna. No, I'm not gonna go into.
You're not gonna go big rant.
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
just gonna.
I want to hear that. I want to hear the rant.
Well, we're running along. Do you
Okay,
really
we are.
want to hear a big rant on it?
Okay. All right. Yeah, this is Virtual Reality Bites, the 6th episode of the season. Written by Gloria Kellett, directed by Dermot Downs. And yeah, we've got we open up with Major on the morgue slab, which was a nice little like, oh my God, did Major die after that attack and being
Is he gonna be a zombie?
made fun of by skate punks?
Yeah.
But nope, guess what? He's alive. He just needs stitched up by
Yeah.
Ravi.
Yeah. He didn't want to
So-
go to the hospital.
I like that little fake out.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. Then we got Jackie, Blaine's girlfriend. Well, sort of girlfriend, sort of like sugar mom, sugar
Cougary.
mama,
Cougary girlfriend.
sugar mama.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a little hungry Jack hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And
Poor delivery guy.
yeah, there's a delivery guy from Meet Cute, which if
I have a pizza for you. Sorry. I'm gonna use that for this whole episode.
you might want to turn it up. I can barely hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. There you go. Hi, I brought this delivery for you.
Come on in, boys.
Are you okay? I like this place you've got here. There's lots of space.
Take off your clothes. What a horrible porno that would be. Yeah, so he comes in and he does not have her brains.
Yeah, so she's not happy about that. So what does she do? She takes Mr. Delivery Guy and smashes him up against the coat rack.
Mm-hmm.
Or
On the back of the door, yep.
yeah, back of the door, and
Eats his brains.
eats his brain. Num
Yeah.
num num num.
Yep. So Blaine has to look for a new delivery guy.
Yeah, Blaine's not too happy about that.
No, he's not.
Yeah, we find out later.
Yeah, he doesn't have a cougar girlfriend anymore.
Well, he can get another one.
That's true.
Maybe he'll get Rose or Liv's mom.
That's what I'm thinking.
Could be.
Or at least that he's eyeing her.
Yeah, maybe. But
That's part of what I don't like about this episode.
okay.
What a coincidence
It's a
that
crazy
her mother
coincidence.
goes in looking for a job for her brother. So her
Yeah.
whole family's going to be involved with Blaine.
Well, at least it gives the brother something to do.
What a wacky coincidence. The brother could move in with
Yeah.
Liv and have something to do.
I know.
Doesn't have to be involved with Blaine.
But they have done all this little build up with all these teenage kids disappearing. Mm-hmm. So
Okay, he could move in with Major and get involved with the
Could be.
kids.
go undercover
Sure.
as a skate punk.
Sure.
Yeah,
That would be more interesting, I think, than working with Blaine,
right.
personally.
I don't think it's going to be dull working for Blaine.
Oh,
Come on, with those zombie henchmen, they're awesome.
you think? I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the
We'll
the
see.
meat locker.
Meet Cute.
Meat cute, whatever.
Yeah. So Meet Cute, the thing behind Meet Cute, it's a term for those who don't know. Meet Cute, MEET, cute is essentially a scene in like a TV show or a movie where two characters meet and kind of romantically get attracted to one another at first. You know, that initial meeting, they hook up and they're like, oh, she's kind of cute or he's kind of cute.
Well, kind of. You can have
Yeah.
one in real life.
Right,
My husband and I had a meet cute.
right. But see, the whole meet,
Yeah,
MEAT,
M-E-A-T,
is
yeah.
it's a pun. Get it?
Yeah, haha.
Yeah. Okay, so now
See,
you know.
my husband and I met for real life the
Right.
last time. I mean, we crossed paths like 5 times without knowing it. But we met at a place called Destiny Comics.
Got it.
That's a meet cute.
Got it. Okay. So,
You don't
So-
care. I can see it in your
I
face.
can kind of care.
Okay.
I kind of care.
But that's a meet cute where you can share that story. It's
So
cute
that-
enough that you can share
Right.
the story.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
You don't think I care? I'm offended.
no, you're just like, okay, moving on.
No, I'm just trying to like get
Focus?
back to because we're running long. So
Okay.
I'm trying to focus.
No, I was just trying to focus it down into like a meet cute.
I wasn't trying to dismiss you. I'm
Okay.
honest. Okay.
Just in case it comes into play, a meet cute is kind of a specific, like it's a story you can share with people that's like a specific
Right.
sort of, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just in case it comes into play.
It could.
Yeah. Like maybe he has this romantic relationship with her mother and that becomes his meet cute.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if he actually genuinely fell for her mom?
Gross. Sorry.
It probably won't happen because it's David Andrews, and David Andrews has to play evil characters.
I like him as an
But he-
actor.
But that's his thing.
Yeah.
He's like James Frain. Everything James Frain is in, he's the bad guy.
He's just a terrible person. Yeah.
It's so
And
yeah.
I really do like him as an actor, but he's very irritating in this.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. He's just grating on my nerves. I like him in Once Upon a Time
Yeah.
as a bad guy, but in this, it's just like right down on the blackboard.
Okay. So Liv, the whole body thing that she eats this time is a decomposing body of a well-known internet troll and hacker guy called Sim Reaper.
Mm-hmm.
And Liv does not want to eat the brains because it's decomposing and it's kind of gross, especially for brains. So, but she does it because she's like, okay, I will dive in and help solve the crime. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
So she eats the brains and immediately has like a craving for donuts. Donuts. No.
I ate Homer Simpson's brains.
I like
That was
that
a
one.
very funny line.
That was
Yes.
good. And she has this vision of a severe allergic reaction, which we find out later is actually confetti that was sprung out, that was coated in peanut powder.
Dusting of some
Dusting.
sort. Yeah,
So, because he had a peanut allergy.
right,
And he couldn't get to his EpiPen fast enough.
right.
So,
And he was also agoraphobic,
yes.
which
he is-
also transferred to her.
Right. So, because anytime she stepped outside, she got dizzy and anxiety and
Right.
yeah.
Squiggly
So-
lines, squiggly lines, squiggly lines.
Yeah. Just take a Claritin, it'll clear right up.
Yeah.
Um,
Which meant she
But,
had to cancel her date with
yeah. So
Lowell. Was that
so
his name?
well, yeah. Before that, though, Ravi brings over the laptop,
Mm-hmm.
and she starts going through that and realizes that I've got the mad computer skills. So she goes on, hacks on the computer, and it's a MMO role playing game. And so she decides to impersonate Sim Reaper in the game, and she's like getting into the game. She's like eating the cheesy poofs. She's slamming down the Code Red Mountain Dew because that's what gamers do. And speaking from experience in this, I have some gamer friends, and yes, they do eat the cheesy poofs and slam down the Code Red Mountain Dew like it's going out of style.
Okay, Mountain Dew, yes.
Yeah, but what? I've seen it firsthand. These people.
Not all of us do that.
No, not that's a stereotype that all people, but enough people do it. I've seen people do
I
it.
have granola bars over there
Right.
that I eat.
Right.
I drink coffee. I do have some power drinks. Yes.
See, this is the rant I was trying to get out, and it worked.
You wanted my rant? You're not telling them what I was doing while you were talking either,
Well, yeah,
though.
she's sitting there with her like head on the microphone, going.
I was trying not to say anything. Okay, look.
Deep hurting.
First of all, here's the deal.
hurting.
She's playing the game, and it's completely unrealistic. Like, completely unrealistic.
I need my popcorn going. Like Bill Hader or Stephen Colbert or somebody. No.
Give me.
Michael Jackson.
Okay, look. When you play a video game like that, and you're walking, you're facing the same direction that you're facing. You're not facing yourself in the game.
Yeah, right.
You're not looking into the face of your character, which is what she was doing. How would that be productive at all? Looking in the face of your own character. How would that work? How would you be able to fight anything? Looking into the face of your own character. Explain that to me.
Are you insinuating that Gloria Calderon-Kellett is not a gamer and
That was the biggest thing I saw.
and did not do her homework?
Right. And then, okay, she's playing the game and they're talking. They don't have headsets on. They don't have mics on. Nothing.
Well, apparently they had a voice, like a device to alter their voices digitally. Was it maybe there was a microphone on the computer somewhere, laptop?
Wow. And it's crystal clear and it alters their voice.
I don't know.
Amazing how that happens. And then
Yeah.
while she's talking in the game, a guy can call right to her personal laptop and identify who she is personally.
Well, these are expert hacker guys
No.
with their hacker skills, doing the hacker
No.
things.
If someone could call me directly while I was playing Warcraft,
you would freak out.
I would freak the F out. No way.
So nobody
First
do that.
of all,
'Cause that's bad.
Blizzard can't do that.
Blizzard?
Blizzard, the people that run
Blizzard.
the game.
Oh yeah, Blizzard.
They'd
Yeah.
have to look up through several different layers in order to find me before they could just call me. So,
So you're a multi-layered individual.
right. You can't just be talking to someone, then, turn off your voice simulator
Yeah.
and say, hey, I want to talk to you. And then have Skype, which is what it was, come up in the corner of the screen and call you directly. And have the little video okay. Sorry. So mad about the whole thing.
Yes.
Your tears feed me.
Good. Let the hate flow. Good.
I'm joining the dark side over this stupid show. This episode, I was so angry. I was watching it and going, nerd rage! Karen smash!
See, and I'm not a gamer person. I just have gamer friends. So I just laughed and laughed at this.
Yeah. But look, you have to admit that stuff was pretty stupid. The stuff I just said,
Yes.
that's
but
pretty stupid.
from my perspective, I didn't even notice it until
Yeah,
you said
until I
something.
said it though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How would
So-
you play if your character faced you on the screen? How would you play?
I get it. I get it.
You'd be killing yourself on the screen
did-
with your sword.
Testify.
Look, how would you kill things on the screen with your hands facing you? That's ridiculous. You can tell people how stupid I just looked doing that. I mimed it.
Print screen.
How did... no. I'm not going to do it again now. I looked
That's
ridiculous just now.
That's okay. You don't need to.
You would be swiping the swords at your own face.
I know.
And
Okay. Good. Good.
Okay, so anyway, the gaming stuff was the worst. And then there's no way she'd be able to talk to the other gamer that hated this guy. No way. So that clue would just be right out.
And of course, he turns into a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that whole story part
Right.
was
Made no sense.
nothing. Why even put it in? Why make me so angry that I wanted to rip my TV off the wall and throw it off of the balcony? Why do that to me? Why? Because it... Yeah. That's
I'm
why.
guessing, my personal guess is that Gloria Kellett, she probably got harassed by some people on Twitter, and so this is her revenge
All right.
by
But
killing one of them off.
why gamers, though?
I don't know. Or
Why
maybe
the
she knows.
gamers?
Maybe she's like anti-gamer gate, and they're
Yeah,
decided to take out one of
Okay,
them fictionally.
I don't want any blowback on this. I am also anti-Gamergate,
Right.
but I'm anti-her writing on this one.
Okay.
So
next time she writes, we gotta
consult with the gamer,
Yeah, do your homework.
please.
Write. Any writer worth their weight should write what you know. If you
Right.
don't know about gaming, don't write about it.
Right. Or
Right.
go watch the World of Warcraft episode of South Park.
Yeah, exactly.
A half hour.
That was actually on yesterday. As I came home from work, and I was just watching that. I was like, "Oh, this reminds me." Karen's gonna go rant on iZombie. Yeah,
That is exactly how World of Warcraft works, except for a couple little things that you can't really do in the game. But, that's adapted for TV, essentially. They could have done little tweaks like that.
Okay.
See, you didn't want to hear my whole rant. I knew you wouldn't.
I do want to hear the whole rant. We just don't have time for it.
Yeah, I know.
So
All right, so there's that. And
it's not for lack of wanting.
the other part of it is he was an internet troll, which I hate, and I'm okay with the whole rest of the internet troll part.
Yeah.
I just don't like that they're kind of happy that he's dead. You know what I mean?
That he had it coming.
Yeah, no one has it coming. No one has it coming that they're murdered. No one. I hate trolls too.
Right.
But I don't wish that someone would blow peanut in their
Yeah.
face and they suffocate in their
Right.
own home.
Now, if they'd done something personally to them, they might be understandable. But to be fair, though, this guy picked on this, what's her name?
Yeah, the sister of the guy.
The sister of the guy, and she committed suicide because she was so upset over it.
Yeah, no, I get that, but that a life for a life doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
You still don't, right?
I
I
understand.
mean,
I
and he
understand.
was just unrepentant about it, and that
Right.
it's not really the right message, in my opinion.
No.
So anyway,
Okay.
this is the reason why it just was unsettling to me. And then the story was, after all these clues and everything, that it was donuts being delivered to his house. He wrote this horrible Yelp review and said he wouldn't be going back to this one donut shop, so he had to switch donut shops. And this guy whose sister committed suicide over the dude was cyberbullying her. He
And ran her out of business because he kept everywhere posting bad reviews about
Right.
the shop, and
Right.
Yeah.
She ended up killing herself over the whole thing.
right.
He would get jobs at all these donut places in the hopes that, he would order from them. And he ended up finally figuring out who he was. And he sent him this birthday card with a clue in it as to who he was.
Yep.
And it blew these confetti things in his face with peanut
Yep.
stuff in it and killed him. And then he was like, well, here's my story and I don't care. So
Okay.
that was it, right?
That was it.
And then
Perfect.
the other
Perfect
story,
summation.
the other story was that Liv's mother at the end of the episode
Right.
went to the butcher shop that Blaine owns, where he's getting all these brains and processing them, having them cooked in these really fancy dishes and stuff.
Right.
And-
Gourmet dishes. Yeah.
Right. And they're
Like on Hannibal.
right. And they found them in this kid's stomach. That's how they're trying to trace the kids that are dying or whatever, right?
Right. Because Clive goes to meet Cute, finds Blaine there. Mm-hmm. And Blaine's all like, hey, why don't you come back to the back room? We're not going to try and kill you or anything.
Yeah.
But Liv calls and interrupts him. He's like, okay. But he was suspicious at first.
Yes.
Clive was.
I think he still might be.
He might be. So he's just like, okay, I'll be
But
back.
man, that was close. because
like dodge a bullet because they were ready for him.
Yeah.
They're like
he was
yeah,
right
they're
behind the
good
door
for
with
it.
the
Yeah.
So yeah, he left. Then later in the episode, her mother stops by and, oh, isn't this interesting that you're in the area and what lovely food you have? Oh, and you're looking for help. My son needs a job. Ha ha ha.
Well,
Let me-"
apparently she was looking to buy food.
Right. Yeah.
So she just didn't happen to be that. Yeah, hey, it's Blaine, small universe.
What a coincidence.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
Because they only live in Seattle, where there's like all kinds of
100,000 different
Yeah.
food
Yeah.
places. And
Yeah.
I doubt this is even the same neighborhood.
Probably not.
Right. So yeah, there's that, and that her son is looking for a job, and
Yeah. Now maybe we'll find out that she knew Jackie, and Jackie recommended it. That would make sense. I know, but it works.
still a stretch.
It is a stretch, but it's a better stretch if Jackie
That
or
silence was
gave
me
a
making
referral.
me
Yeah.
making a stretching gesture
Yeah.
on the screen. Yeah,
Now,
it's a stretch.
You haven't talked about Lowell.
Oh yeah, Lowell was very
'Cause-
sweet in this one.
Yeah, because Lowell lives some anti-anxiety meds and hangs out with her, and they share stories about how they became zombies.
Oh, so
And-
cute, and
and
how he
Lowell-
can't go to
Yeah,
gigs.
yeah, he had to give up his career
Yeah,
because he gets this adrenaline rush and ends up becoming full zombie,
full on zombie mode.
full on zombie mode. So he had to give up his gigs.
Yep. And then she decides after all this stuff that she's not gonna stop living her life, and she's gonna go for it. And they end up smooching at the end of the episode.
Yeah, this is after a failed attempt by him.
Right, to kiss her.
To kiss her, but then she later is like, "Oh, I need to kiss him." Mm-hmm. So she finds him and kisses him, and so they're all happy.
That was sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I know what you reviewed.
I do not censure you for your review at all.
No.
So go
Okay.
for
So, out of 10, what did you give this?
You're gonna yell at me. 5 out of
No,
10.
I'm not gonna. I respect your belief.
Nerd raging gamers. Just too many plot holes for
That's
me.
okay.
Made
That's
me
okay.
nuts.
Now, as you pointed out, a lot of people on the internet like this episode.
Most everyone did.
I
I
am one
am
of
in
those
the
people.
minority.
I am one of those people. So this is one of the rare times where we're not in sync.
Not at all.
So, which is okay. I'm cool with it.
Hey, look. At least
I don't
I take
Yes.
my stand and I stand by it.
I respect your stance.
Thank you.
I think you're perfectly justified coming from your gamer background to have beefs with this.
Right.
So,
But not just that. There's other things too.
and coming from my non-gamer background, I am justified in laughing at it.
Yeah, I know.
So,
You will make fun of me for this for a long
I'm
time.
not making fun of you.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that
I'm
I
living in my mom's basement and I'm playing I'm playing my games. Go ahead. So what's your rating?
I gave this one 8 out of 10 cans of Code Red Mountain Dew because
Thanks.
gamers.
Thank you.
So, okay, let's move on.
Yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Rapidly moving on. The Frenemy of My Enemy.
Hmm.
Written by that writer that Karen has trouble pronouncing, Monica Wusu-Breen. Yeah, and
I came close.
the Zibizewski guy. That guy. Zibizewski. I got to figure out how to pronounce this because he's going to be running the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spinoff.
Uh-oh.
If that happens. Directed by Karen. Oh, another Karen. Hey, Karen's everywhere. Karen Gaviola. Okay.
Oh, yeah, last week too, right?
Yeah. They're all over Karen's everywhere.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take out some clips from Daredevil and put them on the soundboard of
Okay.
them saying Karen.
There you go.
Karen.
Karen. Awesome. So we have Fitz giving Coulson the toolbox at long last. And he immediately opens it right up, which I thought was just kind of hysterical. Because they're struggling and they can't open this thing. And Coulson just, boop, opens it right up. Mm-hmm. Coulson tells Fitz that they're looking for Dr. List and Baron von Strucker, who are like big high-level Hydra agents. Von Strucker is going to be in the Avengers Age of Ultron movie, so there's your tie-in for that one. And he also tells Fitz that, oh yeah, by the way, we made this deal with Ward, so we're gonna deal with Ward. That's our plan. Meanwhile, on the real Shield, the other
Meanwhile,
Shield. Meanwhile, Mockingbird is bothered by the focus on Coulson. She's like, why are we going after Coulson in the toolbox instead of, going after Hydra like we do as S.H.I.E.L.D. agents? So what's up with that? We've got Simmons confessing to May that, oh yeah, that toolbox, it's a fake.
yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well just fess up. And I
Yep.
love how Simmons is, oh, I'm trying to get it to open. Really, I am. And she goes, come on, you might as well just fess
Yep.
up. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. But May's like, okay, it's cool. I got it covered.
Yeah.
So Coulson and Deathlock, meanwhile.
Meanwhile, back at the headquarters of the
Yes.
JLA.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Right.
That's where I'm a huge Super Friends fan.
I know, me too. But that's what
So-
they do all the time, right? Meanwhile.
And I love Ted Knight doing the voices, so yeah, it's just awesome. Coulson and Deathlock capture Agent 33, and they call up Ward on her cell phone. Coulson tells Ward, oh yeah, we want Strucker and List, and we'll tell you what, buddy, since you're such a cool guy and not traitorous or anything, we're going to offer you the Tahiti program and a new car in exchange for your help. Janice, show Agent Ward what he's won.
It's a new car, Bob.
It's new.
You got to do the puking DJ thing. Car.
I did
Sorry.
not know the puking DJ thing. That's
No,
interesting.
car.
Okay.
You got to do it so it sounds like you're actually throwing up the word car.
Okay.
Sorry.
I did not know that.
Okay.
All right. I learn something new every day. Interesting. Okay, so we got Gordon dropping Cal and Sky off in Milwaukee because it's so scenic in Milwaukee. But that's where Cal apparently has an office. So Cal tells Sky and Jiaying, or Jiaying, I'm not sure how that's pronounced.
I think they call her Jiaying.
Jiaying.
Don't they?
Jiaying.
Jiaying?
Jiaying. I don't
Right?
know.
I don't
Something
know
like
either.
that. Apologies for mispronouncing that
Yeah,
all
I'm
to
sorry.
shreds. Cal tells her, Sky, that, oh, by the way, we had all these plans. We're going to raise you up, and it was going to be all nice and, leave it to Beaver. It was going to be great. But sucks to be you because you became an orphan and got stuck in an orphanage. And I went crazy, and your mom went off and did inhuman-y things.
Yeah.
So,
And
sorry.
human-y thing. I
Um,
like that.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, they stage this whole operation to find Dr. List. They bring back Bakshi, and Deathlock's there as hired goon, scoping everybody out. And List starts talking about quantum entanglement, which immediately tips off Fitz as quantum entanglement. They're looking for Sky. It's going
That's
down,
right.
yo.
That's right. So they're weaving things together, aren't they?
It's all connected.
That's right.
As they keep telling us. So yeah, Fitz realizes that they're tracking Gordon to find Sky. So, meanwhile, in Milwaukee, Cal and Sky are going to his old office, and Sky sees a nameplate on his desk and is like, "Oh, my name would have been Daisy Johnson."
Yeah.
Like in the comics,
That's
where
right.
her name is Daisy Johnson.
Oddly enough.
So presumably she will adopt that alias at some point for realsies.
Yeah. As her alter ego, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, they find Lincoln in the hallway being all creepy looking, watching them. Cal gets angry. because Jiaying, or however you pronounce it, wouldn't trust him with Sky, so he's like, Mr. Hyde Smash,
Yeah.
because that's who he is in the comics,
I
Mr.
know.
Hyde. Okay, Calvin Zabo. And Hydra team attacks because Hydra, being Hydra, Sky sees Coulson and Ward together because they're all like, "Hey, yo, we're together and working together and stuff." But while she is reaching out to go join them, who pops in but Gordon, the blind teleporter and human-y guy, and teleports her in Callaway. So see ya.
Yep. Wouldn't want
You
to
like-
be.
You like this rundown?
Yeah, I like it. It's
Okay.
good.
And lastly, we see Bobby and Mac, Mockingbird and Mac, showing up after it's all done and over with. They find Coulson in Cal's office, and he's like, "Hey, yo, take me to your leader. I'm ready to go back to the base." So that's where we leave off. That was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
My frenemy,
Yeah.
my enemy.
I was kind of wistful about the part with Sky and her dad. Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of initially Sky's like, "I just want to get out of here so I can contact my friends." But then, hanging out with her dad, and they go, like, he wants to take her out for ice cream and stuff.
Yeah.
So
show her
and
his
it's-
office.
he's trying to bond with her. He's making the effort.
Right.
So it's like, even though he's a supervillain, he's trying really hard.
I'm putting in the work.
Yeah, he is. So she kind of throws him a little bit of a bone, and she kind of gets into it. They have ice cream,
Yeah.
but she really just wants to still get out of there. So
Right.
because she calls up May and stuff. So
I didn't like that they tricked him either, although he's a bad guy.
right.
Go get your stuff so that we can make you feel more at home here, and they weren't going to let him back. And
No, because the Inhumans are dicks, apparently.
yeah. What was that
So,
about?
I don't know.
They could have just banished him without all the subterfuge, right?
Who knows? I guess they don't want him out there being a threat, but
Yeah.
it's like, Jiaying, at least of all people, is like, well, we had a kid together. I should kind of, sort of, not treat you like crap, but she's cool with that, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, what did you give this episode?
Well, I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I gave it 7 out of 10, and here's where you will understand why I said daughter issues earlier. Daddy issues
Daddy issues, yep.
for this episode.
And I gave this one 8 out of 10 hula dancer statues
Very
on
nice.
the desk. So,
And from what I see, it
Yes.
looks like his name is pronounced Spazevsky.
okay, I'll take your word for it.
That's
All I
the
know is-
only thing I can find.
All I know is there's not enough vowels. There's way too many consonants.
Yeah. Spazevsky. It's Polish-Hungarian.
Blimey. Okay.
Spazevsky.
So we have now my little beef with Arrow,
Oh, no.
the Fallen.
Okay. And I have a theory that
Yeah.
hopefully we will discuss for a minute. It won't
Okay.
take long. So
Okay.
let's get in the mood for talking about this episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so since we're in the mood now,
If you saw this episode, you know why this music is playing. For
And-
all of maybe 2 seconds.
yeah, but this is what all the talk is about, right?
Yeah.
Is about
And here we thought that Barry Allen was the fast one. Oh. I went there.
yeah, but the arrow sure is potent. That's all I can say, right?
Maybe instead of Thea, Oliver should have been called Speedy. Ooh.
Well, they've had Prelude for the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's
so-
all that build up. It's like, the release.
That's right. So they finally did it.
Yeah.
And I like that she actually broke up with Ray beforehand.
because that would have not been cool.
Right. I was glad for that, at
Yes.
least.
And Ray took it like a champ.
He did. He knew last week, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Since he came in, he said, so, I said I love you, but, I was all hopped up and, I didn't really mean it.
Yeah.
So,
But this time...
yeah, not so much.
Because even though Felicity is hitting him up for his jet. So it's like, I don't love you, but can I borrow your jet because you're a billionaire? Because we need to, like, resurrect a dead body.
Well, okay.
That's kind of a dick move.
It is kind of a dick move, but I have to say, they are in that club of people that save lives.
I understand that, which is why Ray, again, like a champ, is like, okay, you can take my jet, even though you just crushed my hopes and dreams into oblivion and stomped on it and then set it on fire.
Right. But there is this precedent of, we all save lives, so we all kind of have to pitch in,
right,
no matter what.
And he's cool with that.
Yeah. And I know it's uncomfortable.
He doesn't deserve to be, but he is.
I agree. But of course, we know Felicity is not his.
Right.
Not his girl anyway.
Yeah.
He still has his girl out there waiting for him.
He was his girl for a good while.
Yeah, well.
For someone who wasn't in love with him, they sure hung out together a lot.
Yeah, but he knew that.
He knew before her
that she was just using him as a placeholder.
Yeah, right. It's like, okay, Oliver's doing Oliver things, so therefore.
Yeah. Now, he is going to get transformed into this whatever thing. Al-Sahim.
Al-Sahim.
And he looks a little brainwashed. And I'm guessing he's going to kind of forget a little bit of what happened. So there's some setup for...
He gets another scar.
Yeah, the arrow thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm setting this up for so they slept together, but I'm guessing that they're gonna reset that.
Oh, it's like I was under the delusion that Ra's al Ghul put me under.
No, I forgot.
Oh, okay.
We slept together, but what?
It didn't happen.
No, we didn't. I don't remember that.
But I'm pregnant with your baby.
Yeah, right. It came out with a pointy head.
Arrowhead.
Right. That was the gist of it.
Yes, I got it.
I'm guessing they're going to reset that because I don't think they're going to have a relationship. Are they?
I think something very unpleasant is going to happen to Felicity.
Do you?
I do. Because they got to get Oliver back together with Laurel.
At some point, yeah.
It's Green Arrow and Black Canary. You got to get them back together.
Right.
So,
but I don't think they're going to lose Felicity. That would people
revolt.
But
something's going to happen that's going to drive them apart.
Okay. I don't think he's going to forget.
It's going to be more Oliver drama.
Yeah. Well, it'll be angst.
Yeah.
So there's that whole storyline. They sleep together.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, another dick move on her part. Here, let's have some wine.
Yeah, well, this is one of my many, like, basically to me, the last half of this episode felt like Felicity fanfic. I'm sorry, it's just, and this is where I'm going to go off on my rant here because we've got, okay, let me just run this down. Okay, she asked Ray for the jet.
After they've broken up,
they go to Nanda Parbat. Okay. And, okay, they do the whole business with lowering Thea into the Lazarus pit. But, that Oliver's like, okay, I got to stay with him because he helped bring my sister back from coma land.
Mm-hmm.
So Felicity confronts Ra's al Ghul.
Right.
Head of the League of Assassins.
Right.
And wags her finger at him going, Oliver's not going to go anywhere because I really, really care about him. And he's not coming back. Or, he can't stay here.
Right.
Because you said so.
Right.
Now, if I was Roz at this point, I'd be like,
off
slice.
with her head.
Yeah, the head goes rolling down the floor.
Yep. But he doesn't.
But because it's Felicity, she can get away with this somehow.
Right.
This little, tech girl.
This was not the first part of this episode where Roz does something out of character. But again,
Roz
we'll talk about this.
Well, I respect your fire.
Right.
Because you have spirit.
Right.
And And
which is bullcrap. But
he's
whatever.
the head of a League of Assassins. It's like
Right.
it's not just like the League of Accountants.
Right.
It's the League of Assassins.
Right. League of Accountants. Here,
on.
play the Cones of Dunshire.
Exactly. Send out the memos of malevolence. I don't know. Okay, so we had that.
And then she goes...
And then, wait, no, Felicity finally tells Oliver that she loves him.
And you cannot stay.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I know I just broke up with my boyfriend, but I really, really love you. So let's have sex.
Right. But she doesn't tell him she broke up with Ray.
No, but she doesn't say, it's just like, okay, let's have sex.
Right. Sexy times.
Yeah, he takes off her glasses.
Yeah.
And stares into her eyes.
Yeah.
And then, okay, he takes off her bra and oh yeah.
Yep.
And then we have a quick flashback and it's all done.
That's right. Exactly.
So they had flashback sex.
Yep. And did you see premature finishing? There we go. Music just cut off.
Yeah, exactly. And then, Felicity's not done yet because it's Felicity. It's not Arrow anymore. This show is called Felicity. So
no. Man, that's a burn as far as Charles is concerned, isn't it?
Because Felicity drugs Oliver.
Oh man, that was a dick move.
She's like, no matter what you want, I want you back in Starling City, so therefore I'm going to drug your drink.
See, and this was a dick move because it wasn't just no matter what you want. It was even if it kills people. Right. You're coming back with us.
Yeah, exactly. No matter all these other circumstances, not to mention, your whole promise, your whole, that you're sticking up for your word because of Thea being rescued. Screw that. I want you back with me.
Mm-hmm. Me.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, and then, later, Oliver wakes up, and instead of being angry with her as he should have been, he's like, oh, I'm perfectly okay with this. Thank you so much for trying.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I know.
I mean, this is a total head desk.
But they're in the catacombs when he wakes up, and he ends up fighting off people and still saying, I have to say.
Yeah.
So at least there's that.
Right.
He doesn't go back on his word.
He doesn't go back on his word, but only because he woke up.
Right.
If he had stayed unconscious, he would have been back in Starling City.
With Felicity.
Yeah.
No matter what the consequences. I know.
I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I know. It was a little far-fetched, I gotta say. But
a little?
And there was a bit more contrivedness.
So, yeah. Go ahead.
Well, Maceo.
Yeah.
And he are talking.
Right.
And Maceo and Diggle are talking. And all this stuff. So Maceo is helping them in the catacombs. And he helps the rest of them get out. But he also ends up killing some people. And so Maceo and the lead character, Ollie,
Oliver,
thank you, get back up to Ross, and they're talking, and Maceo takes full credit for killing some of the League.
Yep.
Okay, that's a no holds barred. You kill some of the League, you get killed, no matter what.
Right.
What happens?
Yep.
Ross doesn't kill him.
Nope.
Because it wasn't his League persona, it was Maceo doing it.
Right. Well, but he did say like, oh, I'm going to need you later on. I am mad with Maceo, but I need whatever his
that would never ever happen.
Right.
Never. And here
Ross would have had him dead too.
Right. And here is why I think that happened. This is my theory.
Yeah.
This is my theory. And
he's
here
not
is my
Ra's al
theory.
Ghul.
He's going to be Ra's al Ghul, Maceo. This is how Oliver's going to get out of it.
Okay, so that Maceo takes over.
Maceo is going to end up...
One problem with this theory.
What?
Okay, at least in the comics.
Yeah.
Maceo dies because Katana, Maceo's spirit resides in her sword.
Okay, but Maceo can get killed to become Ross.
Okay.
So his spirit could still be in the sword, and he gets raised by the Lazarus pit, and he's a little crazy, wacky, and some of his spirit is
Okay.
still in the sword.
Could be. That could be, but we'll see.
Because they've already made out the Lazarus pit to be weird.
Yeah.
And weirder than it is in the comic,
Yeah,
different
because
than it is in the
it's-
comic book.
Because we needed to do different things.
Right.
So therefore, whatever plot hole we get ourselves into, we need the Lazarus pit to bail us out.
Right. And of course, Roz is different. Because
Right.
I don't get what the whole Dread Pirate Roberts thing is with this Roz.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a title.
This is ridiculous.
Especially since he's been around 100 years, which they state in this episode, because of the Lazarus pits. So it's like now all of a sudden you need to retire. Are you just bored and you want to go to like Florida and get a condo or?
So
Yeah.
mad at the Dread Pirate Roberts thing for
Yeah.
Ra's al Ghul. This is not how it happens in the comics. I have not found any reference to this anywhere. This
No,
never
there's not.
happens in the comics.
This is something they invented for the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So-
this Roz is not going to stay Roz, right? On the show, right?
I don't know.
Is this some sort of test?
I don't know. I would love it if they just like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not really Roz. I'm a fake Roz. The real Roz is out there somewhere else.
Okay.
I
So
don't
like they did in the first movie, the
Yeah,
second first
Yeah,
movie,
the misdirection for
Yeah.
in Batman Begins. You know
that it was really Liam
Yeah.
Neeson.
Yeah, it wasn't Ken Watanabe. It was Liam Neeson.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, but
Yeah.
part of my theory was that maybe they spared Maseo so that they could use him.
See, I keep waiting for Katana to show up in the modern day
Right. Instead of in flashback.
instead of in flashback.
Yeah,
and
but
go-
she was in the episode just a
and
few
have a big confrontation between her
with
and
Roz. Oh,
or,
with her
yeah,
husband.
with Roz or with Maseo.
Right. Right.
So that's what I
Hmm.
would like to see. Will I get it? I don't know, but we'll see.
Who knows?
So I gave this one 7 out of 10 Lazarus pits, and that was being generous.
I gave it 8.
I was tempted to go 6.
I gave it
That's pretty low for Arrow for me.
Yeah, I gave it 8 out of 10 saved minions.
Yeah.
And it's just barely an 8 for me.
Yep.
Just mostly because they had sex, which I kind of liked.
Yeah, this is just the episode where Ollie and Felicity have sex.
Right? You
Now, I
know,
did like the little like Lord of the Rings Hobbit scene where they get there and arrive in Nanda Parbat, and all of the League of Assassins there like, "Hi, we're just waiting here for you to go inside and have sex with Felicity."
all of us,
Because it's all about Felicity.
they take turns, they take a number.
Yep.
6!
Now serving 37. 37?
If you all want to have ball slapping sex with me,
You know.
what am I doing?
I don't
Archer.
know. Are you? Oh, right. I was in a totally different mindset there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. I'm okay with that. All right. So lastly, finally. I know-
Daredevil.
Daredevil. We need to wrap this up quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rabbit and Snowstorm. Written by Marco Ramirez. Directed by Adam Kane.
We can skim this one, actually, because this was not
This
my
is-
favorite episode of Daredevil.
This is a good episode. It introduces Ben Urich. We get Vondi Curtis Hall as Ben Urich. He's done a pretty good. I think he's an interesting Ben Urich.
He's good in this.
Yeah, because in the movie he was played by Joey Pants. Joey
Pants.
Yeah, well, that's what they
Yeah.
call him. Pants. Joe Patanliano, I think. Or,
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, so that's why I call him Joey Pants, because his last name's tough to pronounce.
Yeah.
But
Joe
so we get
Padley.
him, and then we also get Ailette Zurer as Vanessa Mariana,
Okay.
the future Mrs. Kingpin.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so we get her introduced at the end of the episode as we finally get the reveal of Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson
Kingpin.
Fisk.
Yeah.
Well, he's not Kingpin yet.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but he might as well be. It's Kingpin.
right.
So he's just pre-Kingpin.
Right. Pre-Kingpin.
Yeah, he
Pre-Kingpin.
is.
It's all
So
one word.
the whole thing, this episode centers around this guy named Healy who kills some dudes with a bowling ball and stuff at a bowling alley.
That was gross.
He's working like he's tight with the Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
So Kingpin has his like little assistant number one, Wesley.
Number one.
Shut up, Wesley. To go to Nelson and Murdoch and give them their first real case that pays, to defend this guy in court for the murder, get him off. Initially, Matt's hesitant about it. Foggy wants to do it for the money. But then later on, during the trial, after meeting with Healy, Foggy's like, I'm not sure I want to do this. But then Matt's like, well, he's tight with Kingpin. He's thinking this. He's tight with Kingpin. Okay, we got to do this so I can get info somehow. So there's that.
Yeah, he was very unrepentant.
Yes. Yes, he was. And we find out that that Wesley has been intimidating the jurors. You know, that Matt overhears Wesley's watch while he's in the courtroom, and he hears the panicked heartbeat of one of the jurors. So he follows the juror outside, and there's a guy blackmailing her. And Daredevil, he changes into Daredevil and, beats the guy up. And he's like, give me some names. And he's like, I don't know any names, but, okay, well, you're going to get that juror excused from the trial. So the juror gets excused, but then there's another juror with another panicked heartbeat. So it's just why bother?
Right.
Karen, meanwhile,
I'm going to have to take some of her.
You're going to, yeah, she's all busy because the Union Allied guys are like, hey, why don't you sign this document that you're not going to talk about all that uncomfortable embezzlement stuff, and we will throw you lots of money at you.
Yeah, she's not happy about that, though.
She doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't want to do that because she wants to expose them.
Right.
So what she ends up doing later on in the episode, she goes to Ben Urich, who she's been reading his columns.
Right.
In the Daily Bulletin / Bugle.
Right. It is the Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's just, we can't call it the Daily Bugle because of
Sony.
Stupid Sony. So Karen's like, okay, I've got you information on Union Allied that you may find interesting. And oh, by the way, they're connected to criminals. So, because Ben's looking on and he knows there's a new player in town. There's mafia guys or mob guys that are getting bumped off. So he knows there's a player. So he's trying to connect the dots, and Karen's got to help him with that.
Right.
Feed him info and help him with his research, I guess. So there's that. The trial ends up being in a hung jury. So Daredevil goes off as Healy leaves the courthouse. He goes out and beats him up, and they get into a pretty good fight. But Healy's, Healy gives up Wilson Fisk's name.
Right.
And at that point, he knows, okay, I'm done for. So what does he do? In a very gruesome way, there's a nice metal Sharpie pointy thing. And then Healy does headbutt to Mr. Pointy.
Yep.
And impales himself through the eyeball.
Yep, gross.
Takes himself out.
It was gross.
It's dude.
The bowling ball and then that. Really gross.
You couldn't just get a gun, shoot yourself. No, you have to stab yourself through the eyeball.
Gross.
So, yeah.
Although that's more, stabbing yourself through the eyeball is a more sure way to kill yourself.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Because the bullet, if you depending on where you aim it.
Yeah.
Because
bullet can miss.
A lot of people just put it in their mouths and it goes out the back of their neck.
Yep.
Instead of pointing it up toward your brain.
Right.
Which you not that I endorse such things.
No.
But if you're going to do it right.
And even if you aim here, it can skirt around your skull.
Yeah.
And
you don't want to be a vegetable.
Right. Or just deformed.
Yeah. So don't do it at all. That's my advice. Don't take
Right.
a gun.
I don't know why we're talking about this.
I know. It's that should be pretty obvious, shouldn't it?
Right.
Lastly, we get a scene of Wilson Fisk going to an art gallery. And he decides to buy himself this white on white painting. It's one of those paintings that it's just multi levels of white. And you're like, you would look at that going, why would you buy that? Because it doesn't have anything really on it.
Right?
So it's just little different shades of white. And Vanessa, who manages the art gallery, she sells him the painting and finds him a little bit intriguing because she asks him how it makes him feel, and he says alone.
Mm.
Now, I know because I've watched through episode 9 that that painting gets explained like
Mm-hmm.
around episode 6 or 7.
Okay. And I
Um,
haven't been there yet, so.
it's a really dark story
Ugh.
of why he's into this painting. And he's really into this painting.
Okay.
So I'm not going to spoil it because I don't know if people haven't watched it yet, if they're just doing it one at a time because they want to keep tight with the podcast, but
Well, I'm doing it one at a time. So.
or they're just doing it once a week because that's be like a TV show, or you don't have time to get it. So
Right.
either way, so I don't want to spoil that, but trust me, all I will say is that yes, that painting is paid off later on.
Okay.
So what did you give this episode?
I gave it, I don't know, I'm going to have to go back and look. 7 out of 10 bloody bowling balls.
Okay. I give this a little more because I like the fact that we got introduced to Ben and Vanessa, who are important characters. 8.5 out of 10 overpriced white paintings.
I just wanted to give myself a little more wiggle room on this one because it
Yeah.
was just kind of
Yeah.
for me. I
Yeah,
mean,
this-
there was some gore in it, which I like.
I could have
but
gone 8. Let's put it was between
No,
an 8 and 8.
Stick with 8.5.
Okay.
I
So
think you
that's what I
should
did.
stay with your first thing. So
Right.
I'm looking up Vondi Curtis Hall because
Yeah.
I've seen him in a lot of stuff, right? And look at what he's in. Other than like, we've seen him in ER and Chicago Hope and all this other
Mhm.
stuff, and Cop Rock,
Ooh, ouch.
right?
Ouch.
And then I look down and I'm like, oh well, this redeems him. He directed Our Miss Reynolds episode
never
of
seen that.
Firefly.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
Oh.
he
directed that?
directed it,
Okay, respect.
right?
Respect.
Right. He directed an episode of The Shield.
Yeah. Which introduced us to the future Jane on Mad Men,
Yeah.
Christina Hendricks.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't that was little known to me. I mean, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
I liked him in this too. He was really good.
Yeah, basically he's the grizzled newspaper guy who's like one of the last remaining reporters because newspapers are such a dying, they should have already been dead by now.
Yeah. Hey, real life.
So, yep. But I like they're acknowledging it. They're not running
Yeah.
from it.
No, it's true.
It's just not like, okay, here's Clark Kent at the Daily Planet. Like
Yeah.
nothing's wrong with newspapers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is where we do listener feedback, but since we're running long, let's do
Yep.
any listener feedback in the spoiler
We will.
6.5. Let's do that. But you also wanted to talk about Constantine.
Yeah, just really quick. The Constantine episodes are now streaming on NBC.com. So I heartily recommend everybody go there and start watching those things over and over and over again to let NBC know if you're a fan of Constantine. And as you know, I hope you know that we are a fan of Constantine because we used to do this little podcast called Dangerous Habits, the Constantine
Well,
podcast.
technically, this is that podcast. Technically.
Just yeah,
Isn't it?
we broadened the scope,
Right.
right?
We
But
turned this into this.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But we still care about the show. We still want it back for season 2.
Right.
So we have
See-
not given up on Constantine.
People keep reporting that it's been canceled. And then
Yeah.
it keeps getting debunked as, they keep coming out and saying it has not been canceled. And NBC does things like this to stream like the whole series on their site.
Right.
And I keep thinking, you know what? They're just going to renew it just to spite the people that are saying it's been canceled.
There was this horrible BuzzFeed article that just just basically burying Constantine before it was not doing the author did not do her homework. because she did not check with Daniel Cerrone, the showrunner, who is like, "Hey, I've got a meeting with NBC at the end of April,
Right.
so we're not dead yet. No,
Right.
it doesn't look great, but we're not dead yet."
Right.
So I'd be like,
And
I would
why
be
would
so
they?
pissed. I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, okay, you're telling everybody that we're canceled.
Right. Why would you even do that? Why would
So
you type that up?
yeah, and all it does is just spread the word that, oh, it's canceled.
Right.
And the only thing I can think of is that these people, like, they don't want, they hate the idea of this little low-rated show having a fan base, the
Right.
Hellblazers.
Right.
So they want to just bury it.
Right.
They can't stand that idea that, oh, it's just stupid little kids on the internet, like, they're being idiots. Why would they follow such a stupid show? It's low rated. Doesn't have a chance. So go on NBC.com and watch the hell out of those Hellblazer episodes, or the Constantine episodes.
I would laugh my ass off if
Yeah,
after all of these articles
Yeah.
coming out saying that it's been canceled, if NBC
Yeah.
just went, you know what? F you.
Yeah, you've got the Cancel Bear trying to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got BuzzFeed trying to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Just stick it in their craws.
What was it? Was it
bring it back.
Deadline?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was
Hit
Deadline.
Fix? I don't remember.
One of those.
I don't hate to drop. Okay,
Yeah.
don't take those. I don't want to spread rumors. It wasn't those two sites, or it might have been, or it might not. I don't remember who it was, but it was another big site that released an article saying that it was canceled as well, and it,
Right.
obviously has not been canceled yet. So, yeah, go watch them. Give them some hits. Let NBC know we're watching it.
Yep.
They just had a binge watch yesterday, and tweeted it.
Yeah. Yeah, the stars of the show are like live tweeting the episodes. They're burning through the episodes and commenting and giving all kinds of cool background info. So follow them on Twitter.
Yep. No one's giving up on it.
Yeah, so the only people that seem to be giving up on it are the entertainment media
Right.
that just want it dead because they want a
Bloggers.
story so they can laugh at it and go, haha.
Bloggers, really. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
Stupid
not even.
Stupid bloggers.
Yeah, aren't we those?
Apart from Damn Good Coffee and Hot, which
Yeah, but I am too, though.
you can trust. Damn Good Coffee and Hot.
That's right.
Because we won't give you crap like BuzzFeed is doing.
Right. And I always make sure to double check my sources too, just so you know. We double check our sources. Anyway.
Yes.
So where can they give us feedback, Charles?
They can give us feedback at Fandom Zonecast on the Twitter machine or on Facebook. We are at see, I'm talking about Dangerous Habits now.
I know.
The Fandom Zone podcast on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So we're up to 33 likes now. We got a couple.
Yeah.
We could use a lot more. So help us out there.
Yep.
And we're on iTunes. We have one iTunes review. Seriously,
Oh,
come
man.
on. I would hope that more than one person is listening to this podcast.
Dude. That's
Help it-
one written. We've gotten a couple
Yeah.
other stars, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Written.
we have gotten some nice comments on the Facebook page.
yes.
We got this cool little like kind of a
Collage.
pictogram or what?
Yeah, that's from Justina.
Yeah, thanks, Justina, because that was kind of cool. This little
Very cool.
collage of stuff she liked about the podcast. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much. That was very sweet.
She's awesome.
So cheers
And
for that.
my friend Hypes liked our page this last week. So
There you go.
thank you, Hypes.
So we need more.
That's right. More.
Spread the word. Spread the gospel, my people.
That's right. And if you want to follow me on the Twitter machine, I'm Aliveria. And in my bio, you can get an About Me link, which takes you to all my other links. So it's like a Inception. Aliveria Inception. Linky link.
And I'm at Charles Skaggs on Twitter. I'm on the Facebook. I'm on the Instagram. I'm on the Google Plus for all those crazy kids
on the Google Plus.
And
I
my
love
blog
it.
of geeky things, Damn Good Coffee and Hot, where I will not cancel Constantine before it's canceled.
Yay! Yay.
So-
You won't cancel anything before it's canceled. Even
Well,
if you
'cause I
don't
can't
like
can-
it.
I can't cancel it, so it's
No,
not my
but you
power.
won't say
Not-
it.
Yeah, I won't say it's canceled before it's canceled.
Right.
Because
You wouldn't have even canceled The Nanny before it was canceled, right?
no,
See?
I'm okay with that.
See? Nothing wrong
But
with
it's
that.
canceled now, so I will cancel it because it's
Right.
canceled.
Right.
So there you go.
Exactly.
All right, so you've listened to us long enough, I'm sure. You're probably like, I have
Yeah.
other things to do, people. Shut up.
Yeah.
So,
Unless you have a really long commute. And in
Yeah.
that case, you're welcome.
exactly. Or, there's this wacky thing called the pause button. You could just pause
Sure.
and then pick us up again later.
Sure.
We're cool with
I
that.
hope my rant was entertaining.
Yeah, I hope my rant was entertaining.
Yeah. I hope so too.
So, see,
Although
we shared rants.
I
That was
think
good.
my rant might have been more entertaining if we had gone on camera for people because my rant was very visual.
Print screen. That's all I'm saying.
You didn't print screen anything. You didn't. I know you didn't.
I didn't.
No. But my head
I should have.
putting my head on the microphone, I think, might have been entertaining to see.
That's the Karen version of facepalm.
Yes. I just went
It's
boom.
Mike Palm. She went
Mike Palm. Yeah, it was. I was making gestures as he was describing it, like, ugh, I cannot believe this.
All right. So hopefully we'll have much more upbeat things to talk about next week.
Oh yes, I love iZombie. I just.
It's just maybe this is just an aberration. And it's
I'm sure it is.
indicative because episodes 1 through 5 have been awesome.
Oh yes,
So,
I've had no issue with it, and you like Arrow,
yeah, this is just an aberration for me. I hope.
right?
So, although Wendy Miracle, who wrote the Arrow episode, is taking over as showrunner for season 4, I understand, if I have my facts straight.
Well, that doesn't mean anything because people have their ups and downs.
Yeah, so hopefully this is just a like an exception to the rule.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right.
And I do already have spoilers, so we will have a 6.5 episode. So stay tuned for that in a couple days.
Yeah.
And so that means that it's time for us to say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.